Hi, I'm John Fitzgerald and welcome to Custodian TV. This is part 3 in a 4-part series, part 1 being China, part 2 being the mining boom, part 3 the population demographic shift. What's happening? Something that's never happened in the history of Australia before. Our baby boomers are retiring. In the next 10 to 20 years, 25% of our workforce are going to retire. 25%. We've never seen this before in the history of Australia. At the same time, we've got the biggest mining boom in Australian history. Now, the numbers are just compelling. If I go back 10 years to 2000, 2010, Australian workforce grew by 2,070,000 jobs, but 88% of those jobs were filled by foreign workers. Only 12% were filled internally. Why? Because we had nearly as many people leaving the workforce as joining the workforce. But now in the next 10 years, if we have the same job growth, same percentage job growth that is, our employment will grow by 2.5 million workers, and not one of those jobs can be filled internally because we've got more people retiring than entering the workforce, and this is the first time we've seen this in Australian history. On top of that though, it's not 2.5 million jobs. It's more like 3.5 million jobs. And according to Skilled Australia, their forecast is we'll create nearly 3.2 million jobs in this decade, and we have to import that many people into this country. And that's why in May, Wayne Swan, the Treasurer of Australia, came out and said, okay, we have a skills shortage, we have to do something about this. Increase skilled migration to 180,000 from around 112, 113,000. Sponsored migration, 46,000. Regional migration, 16,000. The temporary 4-year 457 visas, and there's well over 200,000 of those. And then they had student visas where there's 600,000 or 700,000. Students can work currently, they can work around 20 hours a week, but on top of all of that, they had a special category for any project in excess of $2 billion can bring their own labour force in. And why they have that is because we've got a backup of nearly $700 billion of mining projects to start in the next 3 or 4 years. This is an amazing time in Australian history and will affect all of us. Let's make the most of it. Thank you for listening to me.